Hi, and welcome to Mola the Talk podcast. I'm your host, Krista Monique, and today is October the 28th, and today is Taco Tuesday. And we have a very great show today. We're going to start off with, of course, the quote of the day. Yes, I hope you guys had a great week. Of course, we got a long week ahead of us. It's a lot of hurricanes, so I want everybody to be safe, and we're praying for Jamaica, the Caribbeans, as well as Mississippi and a lot of other states. So we are praying for your safety. We're going to start off with Dear Lord, raise responders so I don't have to. Pull people to the front who have my back. Don't let my circle become a cage. And let nobody who's supposed to sharpen me have an iron deficiency. Amen. So I want to start off with the podcast festival because that's the event that I founded this year in March. It was at the RSVP Ice House, and we had a really great time. And this year is going to be even more amazing. More vendors, more vendor food trucks. We're going to have speakers, we're going to have music, and we're going to have a great time. We're going to also learn about how to start up a podcast and as well as monetize on YouTube and all the other social media platforms. So this should be a great event. It is free and it's ages 21 and up. And very soon we're going to be launching the link so that you can register for free. Some of the cast members that joined us last year and is going to go back and assign us today will be Dr. Shalonda Carlisle. She is a licensed therapist. Also, Chef ZT from ZT Eatery is going to he's going to do a live cooking demo for us. So you guys, I don't know if you remember him doing the pasta last year and letting the audience members sample it. So he will be doing the same thing. He will be doing a cooking segment. And at the end, we have our audience members will be able to test it. And that is going to be good. We have DJ Little Walt. Walter Hurst will be our DJ, our official DJ for the podcast stage on the main stage. And also you have vendors such as Spirit, which is Sonia Lee. She's an entrepreneur and an author. Her books are on Amazon. You can also get them on Amazon. And she will be a vendor so you can purchase her books. And also Total Relaxation and Massage by Nikitra Patterson. I don't know if you got a massage or last year, but if you come this year, you can get a massage from Nikitra and her team. So I'm super excited. More information to come. But again, that's March the 22nd, 2026. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe to Mola the Talk podcast. So we have on October the 31st, Halloween Masquerade Party. It's at Phoenix. It's the Old Ish in Bar and Grill. They will have their best costume contest. So make sure you check that out. And also, they have the bingo playlist. on every Tuesday. So make sure you check it out after you watch this at Phoenix Bar and Grill. Also on Thursdays they have R&B rose karaoke. That should be fun. At Phoenix Bar and Grill. On Thursday, October the 30th at 7:15, they will have a watch party at Naming Faces Lounge downtown on Capitol Street. Um, the fourth year anniversary week starts at Daiquiri Bar November 12th through the 16th. So congratulations to Daiquiri Bar QB Beans and the family. They're located also downtown at 208 Capitol Street. So happy anniversary to you guys. It's their fourth year anniversary week, starts November the 12th through the 16th. Then we have October the 29th, You, Me, and R&B Wednesdays, birthday celebration for Jason Watkins at Name and Faces. So happy birthday to Watkins. Um, New Edition, I don't know if y'all heard this, but New Edition will start their tour next year with Tony Braxton and Boys to Men. Now, I'm not gonna start singing, but y'all, that's gonna be a good lineup. So the tour starts in 2026. So make sure you start to get your tickets. Everybody's already starting to get theirs. And so make sure you get your tickets. New Edition tour starring Boys to Men and Tony Braxton. And I'm sure just like in any tour, they always bring out in every state artist. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the videos where they highlight, someone, because like Chris Brown, he brought out Usher, he brought out Glorilla, so I'm sure that they're gonna bring out different artists everywhere they go. So I'm super excited about that. One of our biggest corporate sponsors last year for the podcast festival, Mid-State Financial Group, they're doing their Medicare enrollment 2026. You can reach out to David Proctor at 901-468-7711. Medicare open enrollment ends December the 7th. So if you need any help with that, just contact David Proctor at 901-468-7711. And thank you again to Mid-State Financial Group. Also, Natasha, she's very big on helping us and keeping us informed on all of the new updates there at Mid-State and making sure that she was the point of contact person for our podcast festival. So we definitely appreciate you, Natasha. Great news. DoorDash steps up amid government shutdown affecting SNAP recipients. So, DoorDash, congratulations for stepping up and doing something wonderful. So DoorDash is going to be providing the federal government shutdown threatened SNAP benefits for 40 million Americans this week. So, we're launching an emergency food response to help, delivering 1 million free meals through 300 plus food banks and waiving delivery and service fees for 300,000 grocery orders for SNAP recipients. It's a step gap, not a solution, but help is needed now. So, congratulations to DoorDash for stepping up and helping out amid the government shutdown. And next we have Southern Comfort Brass Band, Martin's Downtown on November the 14th. Come move something with Southern Comfort Brass Band. You guys, they have just came from Los Angeles. They did a birthday celebration with the actor Craig Robertson. So we want to say always congratulations to Southern Comfort Brass Band. So anytime that anybody from our state goes to another state and do something huge and amazing on a different level, on the next level, that is awesome. So congratulations to the guys. I miss you guys and I can't wait to see y'all again perform soon. But if you want to check them out, on November the 14th, Martin's downtown. I promise you, you're gonna have a good time. Bring your friends, bring your family members. They may be in town for they may be in town for the actual event, and just bring them and have a good time. It's also Martin's downtown. They have some great food. The kitchen closes at 9, so get there early to eat dinner and then come check out the show. And that's again on November the 14th. All right, and so we're getting ready to get into the main event. I want to do a birthday shout out. And I'm just gonna be honest, I may have, of course, I know I did. So, just so you know, I'm doing a disclaimer. I know I probably have forgotten somebody's birthday, but just know, happy birthday. So, happy birthday to QB Beans, Brooklyn Edmond, Anissa Hampton, and all my family and friends. So, I included that in there for the month of October. Is almost over, so I want to say happy birthday to everyone. I know I personally gave everybody a shout out on my page, all 59 of my pages, but I just want to make sure that I say happy birthday to everyone and happy birthday to any people that is having an anniversary this month. I want to say happy birthday to you. Also, make sure you share, like, and comment. And today's show in podcast is today's podcast is brought to you by American Slang Collection, Brook and Crane Brook and Crane Media Group LLC, and Southern Comfort Brass Band, and Southside Beauty and Barbershop. So thank you so much to our sponsors. And I also want you guys to put your comment, say hello, and tell us where you are watching us from. And also tell us one thing that you want to change for the month of November. So we got 2 more months. We're in the third quarter. If it's maybe time management, maybe you want to start showing up early on time. Maybe you want to spend more time with your family. Maybe it's more time with your boo. Maybe it's just, taking an extra class, or even being able to be more sociable with people. Tell us what you want to work on for the month of November, okay? So, tonight's show is dedicated to all the domestic violence victims and survivors. Disclaimer: the topic and content tonight might be too sensitive in nature, so please have your audience adjusted to adult only. Thanks. All opinions and suggestions are not from a licensed professional, only meant to be informative. But if you need help, contact the National Hotline. So, tonight's topic is jealousy versus domestic violence. And I know a lot of people say, okay, Crystal, you talking right there. What is the difference between jealousy and it really be turning into domestic violence, right? So I got you on that. So domestic violence, and here is Google's definition of domestic abuse, is typically manifested as a pattern of abusive behavior toward an intimate partner in a dating or family relationship, where the abuser exerts power and control over the victim. Domestic abuse can be mental, physical, economic, or sexual in nature. So, if you have or know anyone that has experienced um domestic violence and this is too sensitive for you, please, by any means, please go into another room and watch TV. And I definitely understand, because it can be very triggering for anyone. So hold on one second, I'm trying to send the link to someone. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm trying to send the link to someone have or know anyone that are you guys. I'm trying to send the link. Oh goodness. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go back to the definition just in case anybody has not had a chance to catch up. So, domestic abuse is typically manifested as a pattern of abusive behavior toward an intimate partner in a dating or family relationship, where the abuser exerts power and control over the victim. Domestic abuse can be mental, physical, economic, or sexual in nature. The reason, what is the main root of violence? There is no single cause of violence, whether it results from a complex interplay of biological, psychological, and social factors. Key contributors include individual issues like substance abuse, mental health conditions, and childhood trauma, as well as social influences such as poverty and inequality, exposure to violence, and easy access to weapons. These factors can lead to a cycle where individuals learn or use violence as a way to express anger, seek control, or cope with feelings of despair. Again, I'm going to read the disclaimer. Tonight's show is dedicated to all the domestic violence victims and survivors. And this topic and content tonight may be too sensitive in nature, so please have your audience adjusted to adult only. Thanks. All opinions and suggestions are not from a licensed professional, only meant to be informative. But if you need help, contact the national hotline. So thank you so much. The national hotline number is 1-800, and I will put it in here so you'll know it. And if even if it's not for you, it's for someone else, that's fine. I just want you to have it in case you need it. So 1-800, and you can always come back to this particular podcast and you can have it. Okay, so that is the hotline, the national hotline for domestic violence victims. 1-800-799-7233. What are the four types of domestic abuse? Is psychological and or emotional abuse, physical or sexual abuse, financial or economic abuse. So here we go again. So we have psychological and emotional abuse, physical or sexual abuse, financial and economic abuse. Okay, so those are four types of domestic abuse. Um, Harassment and stalking is considered part of all of that. Domestic violence can be physical, sexual, emotional, economic, or psychological actions, or threats or actions that influence another person. This include behaviors that intimidate, manipulate, humiliate, isolate, frighten, terrorize, coerce, threaten, blame, hurt, injure, or wound anyone. What are five causes of domestic violence? There are five main factors which contribute to violence between family members. One, what do y'all think it is? Stress, personal dispositions, social isolation, culture or societal norms, and situational factors. So that's again stress, and that's big and huge for anyone. That can be a trigger for anyone. Personal dispositions, social isolation. People isolate themselves from others. Cultural or societal norms, and situational factors. Okay. What evidence is needed for domestic violence? So when we say evidence, we mean is there some type of physical evidence or some type of receipts to show that you have been in a domestic violence situation? So, evidence can include pictures, emails, medical records showing injuries, a police report, etc. And if you have evidence, you will need to make it available to the judge and other side to see. Sometimes the judge cannot look at it or consider certain documents. So we have to keep that in hand. I guess that means like certain jurisdictions or certain cases that the judge doesn't have to look at it. They can just make their decision based off of other pieces of facts and evidence. Is emotional abuse a crime? Emotional abuse can result from verbal assaults, threats, intimidation, humiliation, or isolation, and can cause psychological and emotional trauma. Verbal threats, insults, intimidation, shouting, and other acts of rage directed at an older adult are a crime, even if carried out by a child, a spouse, friend, or caretaker. So, when you have relatives that take care of like CNAs and that keep your older relatives, that is part of emotional abuse. So make sure that you are keeping record of that. A lot of times people will put like a hidden camera or some type of you know um audio device in the room so that they can, capture and record this type of behavior if they feel like this type of behavior is going on. So, always beware. And here are some red flags, okay? So, there are some questions that can be asked. Has the physical violence increased in severity or frequency over the past year? So, say for example, if you're going to or you asking yourself or you or the authorities are asking you or someone is asking you, um how many times is it happening over a year? Have you left him or her after leaving together in the past year? So in essence, if after the abuse, did one person leave or the other person stay, or did you separate during that time period? Did one person go were put in jail during that time? What happened? Does he or she control most or all your daily activities? Does that person control from the time that you wake up, from the time you go to sleep, what you do, what you eat, what you how you dress, where you go, who you can talk to, how much money you can spend, what type of control of the day-to-day activities is that person involved in? Has he or she tried to kill you? Now, if someone has tried to kill you, that is serious. Okay, that is serious, and that's the reason why you do need to call and contact the national hotline, emergency 911, ASAP. Um, has he or she ever threatened you? So these are some of the questions that you need to ask yourself if you feel like you don't know if you've gone through domestic violence. That should help. And these questions are not to, we listen and we don't judge, okay? I'm hoping that some individuals who are going through this or know a family member that's going through this or know a person that's going through this will help you ask the right questions. Because sometimes you feel like you want to help, but you don't know how to help, or you feel like is it my place to even step in because maybe they don't even want me to know because they are embarrassed that ever had to deal with this, or maybe possibly they don't even know how to even begin the conversation because again they probably don't feel like you show empathy, that you may not even understand why they do stay, so that's why they don't even bring it up. But for me, I want any of my people around me or any person that I know, or I'm hoping that any one person, even if it helps one person, be able to get out of a situation that they are in and they cannot get out. Hopefully they can trust one person to be able to help them through it. Why do most domestic violence cases get dismissed? Most domestic violence cases are not dismissed, but the cases that are typically dismissed for reasons like insufficient evidence, which is very important, then that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go over the evidence, because it's very important that you, just like you do record keeping for your business, you need to do record keeping, because times where you need someone to believe what is happening, if you don't have any records, you don't have any records. So that means you need to email yourself, you need to text yourself, you need to take pictures, you need to show receipts and show them that this is a pattern and it's been going on. So that's when you do finally have the courage, and I do say courage, when you do have the courage to stand up for yourself and know that you're worth not being, hit on or abused, whether it be emotionally, verbally, physically, financially, sexually, however, then you know that you can have this evidence. Going back to the evidence, I'm sorry, most domestic violence cases are not dismissed, as we said, but the cases that are typically dismissed for reasons like insufficient evidence, especially a lack of physical evidence or credible witness testimony. And that's why it's important. Just like you have a witness for your wedding, it's important for you have an actual witness that you can actually text this information, or you can actually share this information in case something does go wrong where you can't speak for yourself, right? Victim non-cooperation. Sometimes when someone gets arrested or they bring that person in for questioning, the victim does not cooperate because they're scared. At some point, you need to be away from the person who's abusing you so that you can relay this information. And again, don't go back home. Do not go back home. Make sure that that person is locked up and stay locked up, and then you go ahead and do what you need to do. Because again, I know that this is very sensitive. I'm not telling you what to do, but I just feel like you have to make sure that you follow through and make sure that you know that the person is locked up, because sometimes the person can bond out and then they come back and then they finish abusing you. So the absence of an uncooperative victim can make it difficult to prosecute. So as they are a key witness, so as you see, you're a key witness. You're the person who is making these claims. So in order for the prosecutor to be able to make an actual case against or a charge against this individual, you have to be able to be there, to be able to give your statement, to give your testimony, to give your facts, to give your evidence. Inconsistencies in statements, lack of medical records, or improper handling of evidence can also lead to dismissal. And that's what you don't want. You don't want someone to not believe you because you have inconsistency of information. Okay. Um, Again, you can also text the information and help to begin or to 88788. And I'm also put that information here in the comments. You're going to text. So how you would do it is where the line where you would normally put your telephone number, you would type in 88788. And in the part where you put your chat, where you would text somebody, you will put in begin. Okay. And it's just that simple to get some help. So either you can text them or you can call the hotline at 1-800-799-7233. All right, so now we talked about domestic violence. So now we're going to get into jealousy. So both of them are not a good trait to have, but jealousy can lead into domestic violence and is one of the red flags that we discussed. But also, we want to discuss what jealousy and envy is. So, jealousy is a complex emotion often rooted in insecurity and fear of losing a valued relationship to a rival. It is typically characterized by a mix of feelings like anger, resentment, and positive possessiveness, and can arise in various relationships, including those with friends, family, or romantic partners. While normal in moderation, extremely jealousy can negatively impact relationships. So I know we've all been in a relationship where someone says, "Oh, you being jealous because I'm talking to this other girl," or "You being jealous because I'm talking to this other guy." That is not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is someone going to an extreme jealous mode and is having a negative impact in your relationship, in whatever situationship that you do have. Um, Here are some causes of jealousy: insecurity, fear of loss, and possessiveness, and past experiences, unrealistic expectations. Okay, so we're going to break that down. The first one is insecurity. A poor self image or a low self esteem is a major contributing factor, okay, to insecurity. Okay, fear or of loss. This can include fear of abandonment, betrayal, or losing a loved one's affection. Feeling a strong sense of ownership or desire to control a partner can fuel jealousy. Past experiences is reliving past experiences of abandonment or infidelity can increase a person's susceptibility to jealousy. Okay. Unrealistic expectations. Having unrealistic expectations of a relationship or partner can lead to jealousy. Okay, so now we're going to get into what does jealousy really look like? So, how many people have been in a jealous relationship? And how many people, how did you deal with it? Put it in the comments below and let us know. Um, what jealousy can feel like: anger, sadness, and resentment, inadequacy or feeling less than, suspicion and anxiety, is a desire to control or overprotect the relationship. How jealousy differs from envy. So, we talked about jealousy, we talked about domestic violence. Now we're going to talk about the difference between jealousy and envy. So, jealousy involves a perceived threat to a relationship you already had with a third person, like a triangle situationship, right? Envy is the desire for something that someone else's possesses, and only involves two people. For example, being jealous of a friend's new car is different from envying their new car. And how does jealousy affect relationships? How does jealousy affect relationships? Normal levels of jealousy can be healthy in small doses. That's what I was saying earlier. We're not talking about this type of jealousy is the extreme jealousy. We're not talking about just catty jealousy. Um, Normal levels of jealousy can be healthy in small doses and even help signal that a relationship is important. So sometimes you do want to let your partner or your significant other know, hey, you are important to me. However, high levels of jealousy can be damaging, leading to arguments, suspicion, and a breakdown of trust. And it can manifest in unhealthy behaviors like being overly critical or a bit abusive or obsessive. So jealousy hurts so much because it triggers a fear of response that is similar to physical pain, leading to physical fight or flight. So that's a good one because some people don't know that sometimes it can lead for someone to fight or flight, meaning they could go. So if you don't want that to happen, fight or flight, listen, leading to physical fight or flight reaction and emotional pain. It also attacks your self esteem, causing feelings of insecurity, inadequacy, and shame, as it can make you doubt your own value. That's interesting. So you have physical pain, which is your brain response. Your brain processes jealousy similarly to physical pain, activating areas like the insula. Fight or flight response. A perceived threat can send your body into a fight or flight mode, causing a rush of adrenaline. This increases your heart rate, it also makes breathing shallow and can lead to stress. That's interesting. I think I had that fight or flight response several times. Hormonal effects. This response also boosts stress hormones like cortisol, which can make you feel foggy headed and disrupt your sleep and appetite. That's interesting. So let me read that again. Hormonal effects. The response also boosts stress hormones like cortisol, which can make you feel foggy headed and disrupt your sleep and appetite. Emotional and psychological pain is insecurity and self doubt. Jealousy often stems from insecurity, leading to a sense of vulnerability and a fear of losing something or someone you value. It can cause you to question your own worth and abilities. So we're going to stop there just for a second, and I want you guys to let me know if any of this resonates with you, any of this you feel that at any point you have felt with any relationship, whether it be in the past, current, maybe when you was younger, did you experience it and how did you get over it, or how are you getting through it, or do you feel like some of this is now registering with you and now you're understanding what that was? Because sometimes when we're going through it, we don't actually see and it doesn't resonate with us, but when we actually get out of that situation successfully, we are able to see it, and now we can call a thing, right? Now I can say it's a fight or flight. Now I can say it was based off of hormonal effects, or now I can say it was a brain response. Now that I know that is attributed to physical pain. A lot of times I never knew that these things of jealousy causes physical pain. Not until you read about it do you understand that it can cause physical pain. So a lot of people think, okay, physical pain means that something biologically is wrong with you or chemically is wrong with your body and you have some type of imbalance. So therefore something must be wrong. And that's where people don't understand, and people feel like something that you may possibly not be saying or telling the truth, when you are really saying, you may go to the doctor and say, hey, I'm not sleeping, I'm not having an appetite, or I'm this and I'm that, and they thinking it's something physically wrong with you, but they don't understand that have been in a relationship that's toxic, or being in a relationship that is not healthy to you, or has gives you, like you say, a physical pain based off of jealousy or anything like that, or domestic violence, or just anything, could cause these reactions, which is brain response, fight or flight response, hormonal effects, or emotional and psychological pain. Um, Also, threat to self-esteem can negatively impact your self-esteem, sometimes paired with feelings of shame for feeling jealous in the first place. I know a lot of times people will like to get, I call it gaslighting, where they say, well, why you shouldn't have a reason to be jealous. Well, you shouldn't give me a reason to be jealous. You shouldn't be sitting up here texting every female in the planet. You- um, oh, let me, let me go back. Okay, perceived threat. It creates a dynamic where you feel a threat to a relationship, whether from a third person or perceived lack of attention. This threat can strain the relationship and create emotional turmoil. Existing threat. It in some cases, jealousy can be a threat to your ego or a sense of self, especially when you see someone else getting something you desire, forcing you to confront the possibility that you are not as capable or valuable as you thought. And what I want to say to that, when it comes to envy, I know people always want to say siblings, envy each other or jealous of each other. But truth be told, I feel like the siblings should be out of this, the jealousy part. Like, I feel like jealousy should be when it comes to like other people, not when you talk about your family members, because I feel like family members are always going to have rivalry. You're always gonna love each other, like each other, hate each other, fight each other. And so I feel like in this case, jealousy and envy should not pertain, this is my opinion, should not pertain to your immediate family, like your family, your sons, your kids. I don't think jealousy and envy, I don't know. You guys tell me what y'all think, but I don't think it should pertain. I don't think a mother should be jealous of her kids because they're more successful. Or I don't think a mother or kids should be jealous of their mom because she has more money. I don't think a father should be jealous of his son because he's more talented in basketball. Or I don't think a son should be um, you know, jealous or envy of his dad because he got 3 cars, sports cars. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that, in my opinion, that jealousy and envy is pertaining to this particular situation, because in that situation it's not where it's hurting anyone. Like, sometimes it is like sibling rivalry where, hey, I did better on the test, ha ha ha. Okay, that's not hurting anything. That to me should teach that person to go in and study better, so that way you can do better. Or if this person dances better, hey, let's go in and study some more dancing classes, or to get a tutor so I can learn more dancing steps. That to me is not really unhealthy behavior. It's something where it actually can encourage you to do better. um and if you grew up in a family who believed in education and believed in extracurricular activities, that's not a bad thing. So making sure that you're not being jealous of someone else in your family, oh, that's nothing. But for me, when you're jealous and envious of a coworker or of another person in your intimate relationship or something like that, and it causes you to lose sleep, lose your appetite. It stresses you out. It causes you physical pain. Some of the things that I was going over, that is where I feel like you coming into a territory where you may need to change your altitude with your attitude, right? And start learning some other ways to be able to take a breather, either from that person, or maybe to meditate and pray about what it is you're feeling and why you're feeling, and even go to counseling. They have couples counseling, and even you can do individual counseling that can help you maybe gain some information on why are you having these thoughts of jealousy and envy, and why is it causing so many problems in your relationship with your significant other. So I thought about, we did a heavy conversation this first 45 minutes of the show, the podcast. I hope that it was enlightening to someone. I hope that it helped someone. I hope it informed someone um of some of the things that domestic violence victims go through, survivors have gone through, even family members of survivors and victims. They can actually kind of put themselves in the shoes of that victim, and they can see that sometimes they are very courageous for um putting up with it and staying, even though when we don't even understand. And sometimes that we have to just wait until it's their time for us to tell us exactly what the next move is. And then you just be there to love on them and be there for them. But we always want to pray for any victims, any survivors. We want to make sure that you stay safe. And again, we always want you to make sure you reach out to an emergency official if you need the help. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Melissa Talk Podcast, as well. Let us know, of course, anything that we can do to help. We can reach out to some counselors for you. Dr. Shalonda Carlisle is a great counselor with Carlisle Counseling. She has a clinic in Ridgeland, also Ridgeland, Mississippi, as well as a clinic in Pearl, Mississippi. The national hotline again is 1-800-799-7233, or you can text BEGIN, BEGIN, to the number, TO, to 88788, and all the information is in the comments. But I also wanted to do a fun game, and I think this would be a cool game. Okay, so and I'm gonna play along with you guys too. Okay, so the first game is, what do you think? uh, okay, so this is going to be the answer: jealousy or envy. And you can put the information in the comments, okay? So the first question is, and these are the two answers, either jealousy or envy. Example number one, question number one: your best friend gets married and you decide not to be a bridesmaid because you're not happy for them and you wish you got married first. Do 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 do. I think I'm gonna put what I think in the comments. Y'all put what y'all think. Okay. Number two, your coworker got promoted and you didn't, and you're mad. Jealousy or envy? Mm, 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 mm. Number three, your parents brought your sibling a brand new car and gave you an old car that was an automatic and you can't drive it. And so you roll your eyes at your sibling and don't talk to them for months. Ooh. Okay. Number four, you got passed over for an acting in modeling role because you wasn't the correct skin tone as a black woman, and your friend was picked in the role. What do y'all think? Do 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 do. Okay. The last one is, your husband buys his ex a new house that his kids live in, without you knowing first. Is that jealousy or grounds for a divorce? Yeah, I'm just playing. Okay. So I said number one, to your best friend gets married and you decide not to be a bridesmaid because you're not happy for them and you wish you got married first. I said jealous. I said they're jealous. Number two, your coworker got promoted and you didn't and you're mad. I said envy. The one to your parents bought your sibling a brand new car and gave you an old car. I said that one was jealous. Number four, you got passed over for an acting modeling role. I said that was envy. And five, I said your husband buys his ex a new house that his kids live in. And I said jealousy. All right, so game number two. I hope y'all enjoying the games. Okay, so I'm gonna put my phone down because I'm gonna play with you guys. Okay, so on this game, you gotta put all 10 of your fingers up. Okay, and you're gonna put one finger down. You're gonna put one finger down every time one of these things happen to you. Okay, so again, you're gonna put all 10 of your fingers up. And every time either this happened to you, you just gonna put one finger down. And the at the end of number 10, we're gonna see how many fingers you have put stayed up. Okay. So number one, went through your significant other phone. Call the last number, number two, call the last number your significant other or ex last dialed. Number three, pulled up to your significant other current location. Number four, put a tracker on your significant other car. Ooh, who that? Who does that? Who does that? Number five, physically kept your significant other from leaving the home. Oh, I know that. I know they lied. Number six, took or hid your significant other keys so they couldn't leave. I wish they would. Number seven, called the significant other ex to ex why they broke up. Hmm. Have I did that? No, but I had somebody call me. All right. Went through the cabinets in the kitchen or the bathroom. Yeah, I've definitely done that. Took a credit card or debit card from your significant other while they sleeping. They better not. Took out all their money out the bank account from the ATM or bank account. All right. So number 10, that was awesome. So I only had two happen to me and eight didn't. So that's a good sign that those red flags that we talked about in the beginning of the conversation. Remember, we talked about red flags. And if you want to go over red flags again, I want to go over it with you. That's a fun game that you can play with people. Um, when it comes to red flags, is has the physical violence increased in severity or frequency over the past year? Have you left him or her after leaving together in the past year? Does he, she control most of all of your daily activities? And has he or she tried to kill you? And has he or she ever threatened you? So, again, I want to thank everyone for playing the game with me. I know this was a very tough conversation, but with domestic violence, it's never an easy conversation. Um, I do want to also say that if you are experiencing domestic violence at this point, please seek help. And if you know someone that is going through domestic violence, pray for them, um, offer your help, be there for them, don't judge, get them some help if they ask for it. You stay safe and also pray. If anybody have anything that they want to say about domestic violence, you can actually put it in the comments. I do want to thank everyone for supporting Mother the Talk podcast tonight, staying up late. Thank you, Mama, for joining us. I really appreciate you staying up late to be able to watch this show with me tonight. And thank you so much to everyone who's always supported me. And this dream that I have of having a talk show and being an executive producer of a talk show and having my own podcast is not easy. And I stay up late some nights working on the show and, booking guests and finding great topics and creating the links and the flyers and all of that. And when people understand, when you have a dream and you have a vision, a lot of times people don't understand what hard work goes behind the scenes because we make it look so easy. But I also want to thank our family members who believe in our dream as well, because I know Beyonce, I'm not Beyonce, but Beyonce had a family who stood behind her. Her mother left her job to go on road with her. um and my mom believed in me and a lot of my dreams, and I appreciate her, and I know that one day hopefully it's going to pay off where I'll be able to pay it forward and be able to take care of my family as well, like Beyonce and all the other artists that have put in a lot of hard work. So again, thank you for mama for believing in my dream. And no, it's not difficult, but I appreciate you and staying behind me. And I know it's tough because sometimes I'm very sensitive and people don't know that when people tell you no, that you can't do something, or when people try to take advantage of you being a promoter, or trying to do a project, and it's very difficult sometimes. But I just say I love what I do, and I would not change it for anything. And I know God has so much more in store for me, and I appreciate you guys again. So I look forward to next Tuesday Mo Loves the Talk podcast. And thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. Thank you. Great conversation. I really appreciate you guys. And again, thanks so much to Ray Rock Robertson for if you hear my theme song that is produced, he wrote it, he sings it. So thank you to Ray Rock Robertson. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Bye bye, y'all. See you next time on Mo Loves to Talk podcast. It's your girl, Krista Monique.